Should you be worried about your child watching cartoons? The answer is an unqualified yes. This is not scaremongering. It's about recognizing that cartoons are not neutral entertainment. They are, in the main, a calculated exercise in shaping values, influencing habits, and seeding lifelong consumer behavior before your child can even tie their own shoelaces. What is presented as harmless fun is often a sophisticated pipeline engineered by marketers, advertisers, and media psychologists, designed to hook your child into a pattern of craving and consumption. The bright colors, exaggerated voices, and rapid fire storylines are not accidental. They are designed through research to stimulate the young brain's reward centers, flooding it with pleasure cues that demand repetition. And repetition is the soil in which habits grow. When you hand over the remote or tap play on the streaming app, you are granting entry to a carefully crafted loop. Watch, want, whine, acquire, repeat. Beneath the humor and endearing characters lies an early introduction in brand royalty. The characters are often tied to a web of merchandise, lunch boxes, cereal boxes, action figures, clothing lines, ensuring that your child's attachment extends beyond the screen into every corner of their waking life. This is not random. It is business. The aim is to build an emotional connection to commercial products so deeply rooted that your child, or to your child, it feels like part of their identity. Developmental psychologists have long cautioned that media aimed at children is rarely a neutral backdrop. Studies in the Journal of Consumer Research have documented how exposure to branded characters before the age of 7 significantly increases pester power. Pester power refers to the ability of children, especially young ones, to influence their parents' purchasing decisions through persistent requests, nagging, or emotional appeals. Media scholar Julius Shaw, in her work on commercialized childhood, notes that the combination of fast-paced visuals and repetitive branding creates a preconscious loyalty, an attachment that forms before children can rationally evaluate what they are consuming. In other words, the industry is not merely entertaining, it is running an early intervention program in consumer conditioning, with your living room as a training ground. This is why the issue is not simply about screen time, but about the architecture of influence embedded within it. The cartoon craving consumption loop is dangerous precisely because it is disguised as harmless. It bypasses the parents' usual vigilance by dressing commercial intent in the language of laughter and fantasy. It is also self-reinforcing. The more the child engages, the stronger the craving. The stronger the craving, the more persistent the demands for access, and the harder it becomes for a wary parent to resist. By the time a child reaches adolescence, these loops have hardened into predictable spending behaviors. The colors and jingles of their preschool years may have faded, but the emotional wiring remains. Comfort comes from consumption, excitement comes from acquisition, and the world is navigated through brands. All this begins long before they have earned their first shilling, ensuring that when they do, the path of their money has already been charted by forces far outside your family values. The hard truth is this: every cartoon is a classroom. It teaches relentlessly and effectively. The only question is, who wrote the syllabus? If you imagine that you are the primary author of your child's moral, emotional, and consumer education, then you must account for the hours they spend being tutored by corporate strategists. Cartoons are not the innocent escape you think they are. They are a front line in the battle for your child's attention, royalty, and future spending. So yes, be worried. not with a vegan ease, but with the clarity and urgency of a parent who understands that these early influences are not just passing amusements. They are shaping the very architecture of your child's desires. And unless you intervene with deliberate boundaries, the next time your child's eyes light up, it may not be joy you are seeing. It may be the power of a consumer habit that will own them long after they have stopped watching cartoons. Thank you for your time. See you in the next one.